Niaje wase, karibuni sana Automobile Cafe. My name is Adaka kama kawa. Now, today we're doing the 8th episode of the March, Nissan March K11 repair and basically project. So what I want to talk about today is something very simple. One, this is just a review of what I think about the Nissan March and what my opinion would be to someone who would like to do such a project. So first of all, you notice the project was bought midway, but however, by the time we're selling this project, we've done a lot to make it better. And in this process, we actually got to learn 1 or 2, 3 things about that car, which was very interesting. And these are some things we want to share about it. First of all, what you need to know before buying before buying a Micra or basically K11 Nissan March. One is that the shock absorbers of the K11, it's kind of like they're no longer being produced. Remember when we were trying to buy the shocks for the car, we had a challenge because the car came with size 14 shocks at the top mount, and what is in the market today is size 17 for the March. So you should consider first of all doing an upgrade on that, so that you can have an easy time anytime you're doing changes to the suspension, sana when it comes to the top mounts. 2, the other thing you need to know about the Micra is that the Nissan Micra is one of the best Nissans ever produced in a way, in these small Nissans. And actually the K11 is the most simplest version of the March that you'd ever see. The other thing you need to know is that this car comes in 2 variants, the manual and automatic version. The manual version is very good and very economical compared to the automatic version. The other thing that you also need to know is you should consider the terrain. Consider the terrain you're going to use this car. So if your terrain is more of hilly and you're trying to get a Nissan Micra K11 as an economic project, then I'm sorry, that might not be economy as you think. The other thing you also need to consider is basically what type of commute do you do? What type of commute do you do? And in this commute, do you carry load? Do you carry more people? So if you're planning to buy a Nissan K11 and you're this person or this type of a person who always has 4 passengers in a car, 3 passengers in a car, then wait first, don't get it. For sure, it might not be as efficient as you think. The other thing apart from that is that I noticed the engine tend to go off after a very, very short time of usage. By going off, I simply mean the engines that you buy a car or that maybe that is 30 or 40 years old, but the engine is still perfectly fine. You've seen it with the Celica that I have. The Celica is more than from 1989 to 2024. That's close to around. That's good years. There are cars that survive with engines that long, but that car, when I looked at it, I noticed the engine is a bit weak in a way, and it might not survive long enough to go for 20 or 30 years. And by the way, I have a friend who has one, and he decided to just do a complete swap, which is the engine and the gearbox, to make things a bit efficient. So in terms of the transmission, manual, auto, go for the manual one. If you have the auto one, convert it into manual to make it more efficient. And in terms of styling, it's quite a unique, beautiful car that has its own origins from Britain, basically from Europe, and that was a Trizex of Nissan and Renault, and it was a perfect example. Actually, that car is a very, very big car when you go to Europe and other European states. So in terms of styling, that car is beautiful. I liked the big eyes. I liked the fact that it looked more of a small SUV in a way. However, it was a tiny car. Remember, at some point I would sit on my driving side and I would easily hold the passenger how do you call it, passenger holders on this other end that are supposed to support the passenger. So it's quite a small car, and it's not very fast, but again, people have done a lot with it. So before you buy it, those are factors that you should consider. What about would I buy that car again? Yes, for sure. If I had one that was within budget again, I would buy it. Because I noticed, as much as Nissans do not have a resale value, for these small cars, they kind of have a good resale value within the market, because people are trying to use them as an scapegoat for fuel consumption. The other reason I would buy one is that it's fun to drive. The fact that you're driving in a very tiny car, and if it's fast enough, it can be very enjoyable. Also, if you do a swap to the 1300cc engine, or maybe 15, depending on what you want. So that was it. But again, in terms of budgets, that car is very economical when it comes to maintenance. Remember, our budget was totaling to around 50,000 after everything was done, and we were only left with painting the car, and that was it. So basically, the car, in terms of maintenance, it was very, very cheap. I remember buying fuel filter and air filter for around 250 shillings. The engine, which was a slim engine, and that's a major repair in a car, 40,000 shillings only. So get it. If you want to buy it, well and good, buy it. But again, for it to be efficient, it really depends on how you use it. So thank you for watching, and asante sana for this episode. Manze, barikiweni sana. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Enjoy. Ciao.